I'm sorry, I can see it from here. So can you tell me?
All right, now go ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Violeta Laverde. This is my sixth semester of English as a second language. So it is a pleasure to have you all here. So today I will talk about the Montessori education. And I picked this topic because I think many of us are interested in teaching. And in my case, I teach small children. So you would see why so interesting. So this Montessori education approach was developed by Maria Montessori. Maria Montessori was a very intelligent person. She was born in August 31st on 1870 in Italy. So she was from Italy. So she grew up in a beautiful home with a well-educated parents. So she was very intelligent. She went to a school when she was only 13 years old. She wanted to be an engineer, so she enrolled in this school, but then she changed her mind and her heart, and she started studying uh, to become a doctor. So she was the first woman to become a doctor, uh, and actually, she was very important because in Italy, a woman never went to a school like this. So she graduated from the University of Rome. Okay, we talk about the education for peace because actually this approach was born when was the war. So I would like to read this quote from Maria Montessori. So let me read it. Everyone talks about peace, but no one educates for peace. In this world, they educate for competition, and competition is the beginning of any war. When educating to cooperate and own each other's solidarity, that day we will be educating for peace. Maria Montessori. That's why this approach has to be with the peace, and an objective for this Maria Montessori was to educate children to become human beings. Eh, so let's see the next one. Wait a second. Okay. So now we're going to talk about the characteristics of the Montessori method. And we are going to talk about first about the children freedom. This talks about how children can be free in these schools because they can actually pick any activity or knowledge they want to improve or they want to acquire since they are so young. So that's why it's so important, the freedom. And Maria Montessori said that freedom allows children to get responsibility. So it's a way to get that value. Let's see this one, mixed age group. At school, children, they are not in the same age classrooms. So if you can see this picture, they are children from different ages. For example, she is 4 years old. This one is 5 years old. This boy here, this child is only 2 years old. Maria Montessori believed that they learn better, the children learn better from mixed groups because they can learn from, from different perspectives and experiences. And let's see this, the prepared environment. The prepared environment refers to a term, a Montessori term, and it's basically to have very organized in the classroom and not to have the classroom like a normal classroom, but like a home environment. So she believes that the classroom should be very organized and very beautiful at the sea, so children can be or feel comfortable with their place they're working all day. Mm, we can see a teacher role. Over here, it's so different because in a normal school or conventional school, the teacher role is just to teach, and it has an active role. But here, the teacher role changes because teachers are actually a guide, and they are, the people in charge of having the materials, of having all the environment ready for the kids, because the child, as I told you before, is the little person that is in charge of their own educational process. So that is why. The child image. Okay, the child is seen like an individual, is seen like a very intelligent person, and we have to see it with respect. According to Montessori, a child has to learn at their own pace. So we shouldn't rush them to learn. So they should start learning at their pace. They are so capable to do things by themselves. So that is why the independence is so important in this case. So children has to become protagonists of their own knowledge, their own learning process. And of course, there are no homeworks or exams because they believe that children have like a nurture way to learn. So they love to learn by nature. So we don't have to force them. And if they learn by heart, they will do it better. So they shouldn't need homeworks or exams to prove their knowledge. And I'm going to talk about the materials. They have something very interesting in this approach. And if you go to a school with this method, you will see something very interesting. The materials are not the same as always. For example, we have the math material here. You can see it here, the math material. And it has a main purpose, and it's specialized. So they have it for math, for literacy, for practical life. Practical life is basically children learn to do basic things like pour water into another cup.
I'm gonna have to stop you. Okay.
I
You just
okay,
reached me.
okay,
That was good. Thank you very much
okay.
for sharing your presentation. I know you all of you guys want to finish it, but we have to be very strict with the time limit. Okay. Thank you, Violeta. Now I'm going to be asking Julie. Please ask a question to Violeta related to her presentation.
Okay, Violeta, have you had the opportunity to apply this method in your practice, or if you are, if you have worked as a teacher?
Actually, I have, but not here in the United States. And it was very interesting to see how kids work. But it was like my practical. So I didn't attend to school too many days, so I couldn't see all the processes. But over here, I wanted to implant that method with my kids, with my own kids. So you can do it as a mother. So you
Okay,
can
great.
get another, yeah, many resources about it.
Okay, now I have a question though, Violeta. Okay. And now that you mentioned United States education, do you think that Montessori's methodology will work here in Colombia regarding of the cultural profile that we have?
That if we can implement it with our cultural background, yes,
Yeah.
of course. Actually, it doesn't have to be, the method, it doesn't have to be with the approach. itself. It has to do with the kids, with their culture, with their backgrounds, with their families. So you can apply that according to children needs.
Thank you very much. All right, I'm going to stop